Hello. Welcome to Eric's Declassified Psych Survival Guide.
Alright guys, my name's Sarah.
I'm Ashley.
And we've got a couple of tips to help you get through AP Psychology.
And get a 5.
Yes. Alright, so the first thing, after taking a year of psychology and just taking the AP test, we can look back and figure out what worked and what didn't for us. Most important thing is read the textbook.
It's the most important thing. When you're reading the textbook, you really want to semantically encode vocab. The knowledge into your brain, and semantic encoding is the processing of information into the memory according to its meaning. So find meaning in vocab words, find meaning in examples, find meaning in concepts to really have it relate to you.
If you find that meaning, it's sure to stick in your brain a little bit more, make it a little bit easier. Second thing,
ask questions. Mr. Wilmsey is always there after school and at lunch and before school to answer your questions. If you're confused on a subject, just be like, hey, I need some help, and he'll gladly help you. Your peers are also there for you, so ask your friends who do get it.
yeah, asking questions is going to be the biggest thing. For me, it was when we were doing the slideshows in class. If I didn't get something, don't wait around because a lot of psych builds on top of it, so you want to understand each concept as you go through it. Our third tip is using Quizlet. Quizlet is a big tool in all of your classes, but for me, it was so helpful in psychology. If you go on and you search any of the sets with Myers Psychology for AP, unit, whatever, there will be a set already made by some AP psychology teacher out there that already has all the terms, already has some mnemonic devices, which are some ways to remember it. So they'll either have an acronym for you to memorize for a certain term or have a picture, so it makes it really easy. The set's right there, so you just can hop in and start studying.
But remember, don't rely on sets. Read the study book.
Yes.
Okay, our fourth thing is YouTube videos. Just look up Myers Psychology chapter, whatever, and great resources will pop up. I don't remember the exact name of it, but there's these 2 guys that do great chapter reviews. I loved them when I watched it, and it was really helpful after reading the chapter. Not before, not reading the chapter at all does not help.
Yeah, they were pretty funny. They're a little bit funnier than we are, but,
we're trying.
We'll
here.
take it. All right, our next thing is making things applicable to you. So for me, I really liked psychology because unlike some of the obscure things you learn in English or in math, you actually use this and you see it happening around you, whether or not you're oh yeah, I need to use this psych term or something. You're able to witness the social psychology or understand the biological functioning. So by making things applicable to you, you can find an example of something occurring. So when there's, groups that are bickering with each other, you can start seeing group polarization.
What's that, Sarah?
That means when group opinions get stronger because of the group members agreeing with you. But things like that really help you remember the information because you make it related to you, and that's called elaborative. Wow, that was not good. Elaborative rehearsal, which means basically giving meaning to things that are in process to you, and that's another great way to remember.
Our sixth. Is our 6th. This is our 6th or 5th?
We can do it.
Whatever, is do not cram. So one of the topics you'll learn in psychology is the spacing effect, is the tendency to distribute practice to yield better long-term retention through massed practice or cramming.
Yes.
So don't cram. So pretty much it's when you're studying, study for not a really long time, but study for 30 minutes, really good, really thoroughly, semantic encode that information into your brain, and then, I thought there was someone there. And then take a 10-minute break, either doing, making some food for yourself or just taking a quick nap. Spacing effect will really help you. And also rehearsal. Remember to keep memorizing and rehearsing that information.
All right, and then our next tip is review as you go. So getting to the AP exam in May, it's a lot easier if you've been reviewing. So for me, doing the final, obviously halfway point, you went back to the beginning of the year, but if you're able just to flip back through the chapters and maybe ask yourself a couple review questions every now and then, it really is a good way for you to keep testing yourself and keeping that information fresh.
And then the last one is use a study book and use a study book to prepare for the AP test. Study books are really good to help you review. Like Sarah said, you can also use them throughout the year to help you just review on certain chapters. But reading a study book after you're done with the material really help you refresh on stuff in Unit 1 or in Unit 4, stuff that you haven't seen since the first semester.
Exactly. So get comfortable with the practice test, learn the language of the test, and you will have no problem getting a 5.
Also, remember to listen to your lateral hypothalamus, which is the part of your brain that tells you when you're hungry. Eat before the test, kids. It's important.
Well, we wish you luck, AP Psychers, and you're gonna get a 5.
5-5.